welcome to London. This is towards the end of the London Frieze Art Fair 2024, and I have the pleasure of meeting Cindy Fournier.
Hello.
Outside this bus stop here, where the Plogix Gallery is showcasing some serious talented artists with some pieces of their work. So Cindy, are you able to tell me a little bit about your background and what inspires you to do your kind of art?
Yeah, so I'm Cindy and I come from Switzerland. I moved to London in 2015 to study at Plogix College of Fashion and Design and then at Central St. Martin's, fashion master's degree in fashion communication, specialized in fashion critical studies. And that was at Plogix College of Fashion that I discovered Adobe Suite and started experimenting with it. So since then I've been exploring digital collages and creating mixed media art prints using mainly digital photography, Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. And yeah, then because writing has always been a big part of my creative outlet, let's put it that way, I started linking my poetry, so free verse poetry, with my collages. So now when I sell one of my prints, my collages prints, a poem comes with it, and it's written in English or in French. It depends.
Wow, that's how did you get inspired to combine the photography, the art, and the poetry?
It's hard to say. It happened a bit organically. Because I was either posting my writing or photography that I was taking and editing, so distorted photography. But then I thought something was missing, and I just came up with the idea that there's not only one that inspires me, but both, so why could not one feed into the other and vice versa? I guess organically, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And have you been enjoying the art at the Frieze Fair so far at London, or?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen online, I haven't had the chance yet to go, but it seems like really cool and interesting, like always. Lots of political statements as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Where do you get your inspiration, really, to create?
I'd say, I mean, I know it sounds a bit cliche, but I'd say life in general. I make a conscious effort to look around me when I'm out and about, because we all tend to be on our phones all the time and not looking up. So if there's one advice I could give, is just try to look up more often, because you might find a beautiful architecture in the city, or maybe there's a specific sky on that day that will inspire your art. So this, I would say, but also other artists and other creative works that I see when I go to exhibitions, or if I listen to music. If it moves me, it will have an influence on my work one way or another. But it can also be life, like memories or like experiences that I've lived, and maybe years down the line I go back to them, or they pop back into my mind, and I'm inspired by it, and I materialize them through my collages.
Excellent. And how would you describe your work? It's kind of this sort of, it's digital. It's just a fusion of different kinds of arts.
Well, the way I describe it is mixed media art with poetry art as well. But the end result is a framed art print. Framed or unframed, you can also have it unframed. But the process is digital, but it starts in real life. So it's like
I like it. And how do you feel about your art pieces actually appearing on the side of a road in London on a rainy October afternoon?
Well, the vibe is totally my vibe, so I'm really happy about it. No, I feel really grateful. It's an amazing opportunity, and never would I have thought that moving to London, when I moved to London, never would I have thought that my art would be showing on a screen, on many screens in London. So yeah, it's special.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about the specific artwork that you've got on the rotation today?
So one of them is called Words of Mouth. It's a digital photography print, and well, I don't usually start working on a piece with a concept that I want to develop. It's more organic. So to put a concept on it, I would say it's a digital photography print that explores the uncanny in the everyday, present in the everyday. Then there's Behind the Veil, which is a poetry art print, and it's more an exploration of the concept of the ego and how we display it online, but also how we navigate in real life, and if we question it enough or review our behavior enough. And the third one was Black Sun, which is a digital collage print, also black and white. And this one is more about our struggle with communication in general in the social media era.
Yeah, is that something you feel quite strongly about? That you mentioned people looking down too much at their phones.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that as well, obviously. I think we can easily get lost in the online world, and we forget that beauty is also out there in real life and in-person interactions, and we get maybe obsessed with that idea of perfection that is portrayed on Instagram, for example. It can be art, but it can also be how to be a mother, you know. So yeah, I feel it's an amazing tool. Like many times I thought of stopping Instagram and like getting rid of all my social media, but it is an amazing tool to share and spread your input into the world. So I think if you're self-aware enough, everything is fine, but yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Is there an artist, either dead or alive, that you particularly admire, or?
Yeah, that's a tough question. There's too many.
Too many, yeah.
Too many, but well, I'd say one, or maybe like a few of them. I'd say PJ Harvey, for not only for her music but also her lyrics and also her stage performance. Daido Moriyama, the photographer, for his, well, let's say, unapologetic use of high contrast and also painting the imperfect beauty of the everyday. And Robert Mapplethorpe as well, for his, well, I'd say soul-bearing duality and the brutal honesty that we can see in his beautiful art, really. But yeah, I can keep going. Like,
yeah,
there's
that's great, and it's all like from different, singers to artists. It's like you pull inspiration from everywhere. It's good.
I think that's what is interesting. If maybe some music moves you as a painter, I don't know, or like a lyrics from a song moves you, how can you appropriate it and translate it into your own language? And I think that's what is important, that artists in general stop trying to be similar to the successful ones, but stay true to themselves. Maybe always feel inspired, let yourself be inspired, but translate it into your own language.
Have you got any advice for aspiring artists? So kind of you kind of have hinted at some of that already, but what would you say to someone who feels like they want to do art for a career?
Well, first thing is your dream might get smashed on the floor, like really hard. it's not always the romantic, well, I don't know, image that you might see every day on Instagram or in films or in magazines. But don't give up. Just don't give up. If you really believe in it and you need it, make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. But just stay true to yourself, because there's definitely a niche for your work. You just need to fine-tune your language, and this audience will find you. But maybe I'm too romantic as well. Maybe it's, yeah.
Nothing wrong with being too romantic.
But yeah, just don't try to be someone else. I know it sounds cliche, but
authenticity.
Yeah.
What projects are you working on now, and where can people see your work?
So I have an online shop. It's called fortheromanticsleftalive.com. You can find me under that tag as well on Instagram. And yeah, I'm just trying to get more physical exhibitions happening, and I'm looking into maybe creating a new medium for my art, so mixing maybe my art prints with something a bit more crafty, so to add textures and dimension to it, so maybe painting or fabrics. I'm working on it, but I haven't created one artwork yet in that vein.
Fantastic. That sounds completely inspiring. I think we've done a really great job. Thank you very much, Cindy.
Well, thank you so much.
It's been an utter pleasure.
For having me.
And let's get out of the rain for a second.
Yeah.